For new sim racers, it's always hard to find out what gear is best for you. Companies like Logitech, Thrustmaster, and Fanatec, and many others all offer a variety of wheels, pedals, and other sim racing hardware. In this series, I hope to clarify each company's sim racing ecosystem so consumers like you and I can figure out what works best for us. Today I'll be explaining Logitech's sim racing ecosystem, which will be especially useful for those of you on a tight budget. So if you're just getting into sim racing and are looking to pick up some of Logitech's hardware, you've clicked on the right video. Logitech's sim racing offerings are quite limited in terms of what they offer. Logitech is a huge company that produces thousands of different electronics, so they don't necessarily specialize nor devote too many resources to their sim racing gear. They're still solid entry-level products, don't get me wrong, there's just not a lot to choose from. For the sake of clarity, let me point out all of the sim racing products they offer. A wheel and pedal set, an H-pattern shifter, and yeah, that's it. So while other companies offer everything from cockpits to handbrakes to interchangeable wheel rims, Logitech just sticks to the very basics. So let's start off with their newest hardware and make our way down as we go. Logitech's most recent offering is the G923. The G923 retails for $400, although Amazon and a few other retailers have it for around $350. I won't go deep into the specifics of this wheel as I already made a separate video reviewing it, and a link to it can be found in the video description, but in essence it's a slightly updated version of the previous model which can vibrate to emulate the feel of a car and provide more immersion. The G923 technically has two variants. One works with the Xbox One, the new Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC. The other works with the PlayStation 4 and 5 as well as PC. The only way to tell them apart from a design perspective is by looking at the bottom of their faceplate, where one has the Xbox logo and the other one has these three small buttons. I'm sure you can guess which is which. Both variants are exactly the same in every other way. Before I go on, I should mention that all of Logitech's wheels come with the pedals included. Talking about the pedals, they too look exactly like the previous models, but have a slightly updated brake pedal which feels nicer to press down. There is no updated shifter that came with the G923, so in terms of that, the most recent one is the Logitech Driving Force H-pattern shifter, which looks like this. I've also made a separate review on this if you're interested.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Subscribe to OC Racing. It's free.
Now back to our show.
So to recap, Logitech's most recent offerings as of 2021 feature the G923 wheels and pedals, which retail for around $350 to $400, and the H-pattern shifter, which retails for around $60 US. A step underneath the G923 are the massively popular G29 and G920, which Logitech is still producing, thus are not discontinued. Now, it gets a little bit tricky here. Looking at both of these wheels side by side, although they look fairly similar, there are some clear distinctions between the two. The one with the red dial is the G29. The G29 is compatible with the PlayStation 4 and the new PlayStation 5 as well as PC. The other wheel, the G920, is compatible with the new Xbox Series X and S, as well as the Xbox One and PC of course. Although these two wheels look slightly different from a design perspective, they are identical in every other way however. The popularity of these wheels stems upon their good value for money. At around $200 to $250, they provide a great beginner wheel and are accessible to many. They are surprisingly very identical to the newer flagship G923, and if you're curious as to how they compare to the new model, you already know I've made a separate video on that as well. They of course come with a full pedal set included, and the pedals are fine, although the brake pedal is not as good as the newer version. The H-pattern shifter that goes with these wheels is the same one that I already mentioned, as they didn't make a new one for the G923. Below the G29 and G920, all of the following wheels have since been discontinued, and although there are many in the community who still use some of these, I wouldn't recommend them as they are more than 10 years old. Here we have the G27, which I never owned, although I know it was a very successful product at its time. The G27 was discontinued in 2015 and provided support for the PlayStation 2 and 3 as well as PC. It came with this H-pattern shifter which came with a bunch more buttons. Below that we have the G25, which looks like this and came with a similar looking H-pattern shifter, except with this one you could actually switch between H-pattern and sequential shifter mode, which is really cool and I wish Logitech did this on their newer shifters. Those of you who have been paying attention may have noticed that all of Logitech's wheels as of this point have been looking fairly similar from a design perspective, with only a few updates in their appearance, so bonus points to Logitech for their consistency. There's also a bunch of other older sim racing wheels made by Logitech which are not worth talking about since they probably don't even work anymore, but shout out to the Logitech NASCAR racing wheel which was released in 2004, which was actually my first ever sim racing wheel. Anyways, hopefully that cleared everything up for any of you who may be considering Logitech's sim racing offerings. As I've said plenty of times already, I've made reviews and other videos on a bunch of their products, so you can check those out on my channel if you want to learn more. If this video brought any value to you, it would be great if you could press the like button and consider subscribing if you're into all types of sim racing content. With all that being said, however, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.